Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Travis back again with another review here at Big Bad Toy Reviews. This time we are taking a look at Kazuma Final Form. Again, from the anime Scrido. And I'm just going to come right out and say it. This freaking dude is cool as fuck. He really is. I mean, he's cleverly done. I mean, the paint work on him is spot on. It's everything is great about him. So let me go ahead and get him out of the way for right now. We can take a look at the box real quick. It's the front of the box. Obviously, we got a picture of the character here. Got Kazuma Final Form going down there. Scrido again. We have the old school S.H.Figuarts explanation of why they exist. Because this, as I told you before, is an older figure, just like the other one. Here he is on the side of the box. We have the back of the box, the other side of the box, top of the box, which has nothing on it, and then we have the bottom of the box. Quite wide of a box. I mean, it's a pretty big box. Sorry about that, my backdrop fell. Anyway, like I said, it's a really wide box. So that is it for the box. All right. Now, this dude comes with a ton of fucking accessories. He comes with a lot of stuff. I can't even say he comes. I don't know. It's a good amount. This is the instruction manual, and as you can see, tons of hands, tons of little pieces here, little pieces there. He comes with a base, which is rare for S.H.Figuarts. A few faces, a couple of hair pieces. He comes with a lot of stuff just to kind of give you an idea of what he comes with. He had 3 clamshells. This was the final clamshell on the back, which also has the base in the back. I haven't taken the base off, but you can see it's in a nice orange color. Let's go ahead and get to accessories so we can get that out the way. He comes with 3 alternate faces. And I guess we can do this floating head style. This is the original face that came in the box, and he was actually brand new. I also got him off of Ami on sale, and he still had plastic all up in his joints. So it took me a minute to just take the plastic off of him. But this is the face that came on him, and as you can see, it's kind of a plain face, just looking forward. Very nicely painted, very nicely sculpted. I love the metallic orange paint. This was the hair that came on him in the box. Nice metallic red paint. Really, really nice. Really nice. We have a more grizzled look here. He's kind of gritting his teeth. Same really nice sculpting. And I'm using the same little hair piece or whatever, but that's really nice. And then we have the nice yelling face. And he's yelling and looking up. I don't know why he would be looking up. I think that's the only issue I have with this face, is that he's randomly looking up for no real reason. But it's also done really nicely other than the eyes. So we got that. Then we have hands. Now, I'm just gonna do one set of hands because there's no need. All the hands on the left and the right are the same, and they're really cool. They're done really nicely, painted particularly well, painted and sculpted really nicely, really nicely. This is like an open, oops. This is like an open palm hand or something. Maybe he could be like grabbing somebody's face. Then we have another kind of open palm hand. Now these are all the same side, so he just seems to have two of these hands for some reason, both on the same side. So, I don't know. A lot of these seem to be kind of the same. Then we have some fisted hands that sculpted so nicely. All of these have the little opening, so like as if it was opening around here. So that is like his hand opening up right there. So that's what that's simulating. That part of his hand is opening up. And then we have another open hand, all right, that is closed with the back part of his hand closed. And then we have two fist hands, which are on the figure, that are also closed. So those are done really nicely. All the pieces that I currently have on him right now were not the original parts that came with him in the box. He originally came with these two forearm pieces that are closed. Nice metallic orange. Then he came with this single piece that draped around his shoulders and his back and his chest. Very soft, pliable plastic. As you can see, it's also nicely sculpted. Then he comes with three little back pieces, which are like those gold pieces that were in his second form, but now they are like this long orange. This is the longer of the three. All right. And then this is the shorter of these two pieces. Are supposed to go on the same side, same peg in his back, and I'll show you that. But as you can see, one is a bit longer than the other. And then this little piece goes on the other side. What else do I have here? I think that is it. Then there's everything that's on him. All right. So, okay, where do I start? Let's start with the hair. This is not the hairpiece that came on him in the box. It's actually, go ahead and just pop that face off. It is actually wider than the one that he came with in the box. So this is an accessory. All right. Then I'll just leave his head off for right now. Then we have the forearms. These forearms were not the arms that came on him in the box. So as you can see, those are sculpted really nicely, nice and open. All right. Those are accessories. These forearms are accessories. All right. Then we have these pieces that are over his body. And what I'm talking about is these are little accessory pieces for his shoulders. this piece, which is a soft pliable plastic. We have another one for that side. We have a back piece, all done, painted really nicely. And then we have a front piece. And these are all accessories. These were all separate from the actual figure originally. And he originally had this piece draped around him, like so. And I'll go ahead and put that on there so you can kind of get an idea of what this actually looks like. Let's see if I can actually get this in there. And let's see. Get that on there. There's a little piece here. There's a little slot in his back that helps peg that in. All right. Then he had this this neck piece. Get that joint out. Oops. It's actually easier to put the hair on first and then put the face on. And I'm glad, thank God, they didn't do that same little peg system that they did on Kazuma's second form. Actually, these faces actually come out a little bit too easily. So, oh, and then this was not the face that he had. Where's his other face at? All right, and this is the face that he had on in the box. So, other than these forearms, he was pretty much like this in the box. And he did have these pieces on. So those are like on little ball pegs here. So you just kind of pop them on right in there. Bam. And if you read the directions, they show you all of this stuff. And so he was like this. And so I was wondering to myself, I was like, okay, so he's in the package like this. Let's see if I can get him standing. So he's in the package like this, right? Pretty much just kind of, just kind of standing there. It's kind of like that. And I'm like, what are all these damn pieces for? Like this piece and all these extra shoulder pieces and stuff like that. And then this little front piece. Then I realized this with him on, with this attached to him, he actually, he can still move around. This is such a soft piece that it really doesn't hinder the articulation. Granted, it does push his arm down, but what they did was, instead of just letting you just dealing with this piece being stretchy and you can still move them, they gave you these pieces for articulation purposes. So if you wanted to get him in dynamic poses, you don't have a bunch of pieces attached restricting his arms and everything from moving. They did not. I tell you what, I am actually going backwards with S.H.Figuarts, starting with newer figures and going to older figures. It is making me appreciate these older figures so much more, because it seems like S.H.Figuarts were really thinking about the customer. They were really, putting their foot into making these characters. I mean, even when I get to articulation, some of this stuff is cleverly done, considering how they had to mold some of this plastic. And so they didn't even have to go through that, but they did. They went on ahead and said, you know what, this guy is supposed to be an extremely agile guy. He's supposed to be extremely mobile. We need to make it so he can be extremely mobile. Well, how do we fix that? Well, let's be able to make this piece removable have the person that buys it, have them, because you still want the sculpt to you still want them to be able to still have that piece and that sculpt still there, but you want to be able to make some dynamic poses. Well, let's give them some extra pieces and separate the pieces so that they can actually articulate the figure. I'm like, that is what's up. And the whole thing about it is, all of these little pieces, they don't fall off or anything. They're not sloppily done. They're not, like, once you get them on there, it's on and popping. Like, you can do whatever you want to. You can pose them however you like. This little piece pegs into this hole right here, this little slot. So it's just going to slide right into that little slot. And bam. And once you peg these little pieces in, and like I told you, they have these holes cut out here for this back piece. So these little pieces can pop in there. You pop that piece in there. You pop this piece in the back. And bam, it's stable. None of these pieces are coming out. This little front chest piece doesn't come out at all. Bam, articulation completely freed. I don't know what S.H.Figuarts is doing nowadays with, I mean, sometimes they hit it out the park, like with characters like Broly or Android 16. But then they just phone it in, like on characters like Goku. But man, this guy is fantastic. He is a fantastic figure. He absolutely is. If anybody tells you anything differently, they don't know what the fuck they talking about. Let's get to articulation, because he has a ton of it now that I've opened it up. So, as far as the head, if I take these two pieces out here, he can look up about that much. It looks like the joint itself is just what's restricting it. He can look down that much. He can get his arms way above parallel. He kind of has a little butterfly joint in there. Let's see if I can kind of get a focus in there. You can't really see it. I guess you can't call it really a butterfly joint. It's just a ball rolling around in the socket, but you get some good range of motion. You get some good range of motion. You can't go 360 with the arm over parallel with that. He does have a bicep cut in there for the bicep swivel. Now, this elbow joint, when I first pulled this out of the box and I saw some of these pictures here. They were on the back, let's say this one for instance. Like this one for instance, you see how his arms are bent. I was like, how the hell do they get his arms bent like that? Because as I look at it right now, it feels like he can't really bend his arms anyway. And these are on simple little ball pegs. It's just on a ball peg here. So I'm like, I like the fact that it was on a ball peg, but because it's easy to swap it out. But at the same time, where's the articulation? It looks like it's just kind of stuck. It can't even make a right angle. But once I started playing with it a little bit, I noticed that this little joint here, this little hinge here, has full range of motion. Granted, it's not the greatest elbow in the world, but it has full range of motion. You can get his arm all the way across his chest. You see that? it has full range of motion. Perfectly 90 degrees on the elbow, maybe even a little bit more, I don't know, maybe just 90 degrees. Wrist peg, got a ball hinge, ball peg, so you can twist that ball hinge and peg around. It actually almost looks like a Figma joint, to be honest with you. Take a look at it. It almost looks like a Figma neck joint, but it gives you a ton of articulation, all kinds, all over the place. So you get that. You got a little cut here under the chest, which gives him a little bit of an ab crunch, not a whole lot. He can go down quite a bit just due to the fact that his character design is already naturally hunched over a little bit. I told you those faces come off really easily. So he can't go up he can't go forward that much. He can go back about that much, but then when you get this waist joint in there, because he does have a waist cut, and you get some nice side to side action with that too. Once you put that waist joint in there, you can go down a little bit more, but not a whole lot. He does have somewhat of a twist at the waist, not a whole bunch. Due to the sculpting right here, you can't quite get his legs straight out in front of him, because this is going to block him. But it does kind of simulate a wide joint where it goes out to the side, and then you can kind of straighten the leg out a little bit there, and then you can get a lot more range of motion that way. So you can kind of fake it and get it out there, get him in some jumping poses. But he can go and kick up about that far, back that far, out only about that far. He does have double jointed knees, which I actually like. That kneecap. This kneecap actually comes out. It fell out on me earlier, but it doesn't seem to be falling out now. He does have a swivel at the thigh as well. This little ankle piece is kind of a floating piece, so it doesn't hinder the articulation at all. You can get his foot up that high, no problem at all. You can get his foot down, not low a whole lot. You can get a nice ankle tilt out of it though. Get you a nice little ankle tilt there. And then he does have a toe hinge. So this dude is chock full of articulation, and I am so happy, so happy that I got him. He was also not very expensive. Like I said, I got him used on Ami, and he was probably about, I think he was about 35 bucks. Let's try to get the camera on me a little bit. Yeah, I think it was about 35 bucks. Try to zoom in on him there. So I am extremely excited that I got him. And I'm extremely excited that I got him in his second form. Now I just need his first form, and I need the first, second, and last form of the guy that he was fighting in the anime. I can't remember the dude's name. If somebody remembers the name, write it down in the comment section. But that's pretty much it, guys. 4 reviews in one night is rough, let me tell you. And I still got to edit these motherfuckers. So I got my work cut out for me. But with that being said, guys, if you like the video, please hit that like button. Comment, say whatever the hell you want to. Subscribe. You can ask me questions. You can do whatever you want to, man. Just show me some love. But other than that, guys, that's pretty much it for the review. Stay safe. Keep collecting. And peace out.